Alright, who's ready to fuck with a primal? Hey guys, Cruise the Gex back with more Final Fantasy XIV goodness. When we last left off, we were finally able to access where Lady Iceheart had teleported, and now we're going to fuck up some shit seriously. I think Max Duck actually caught up with us, but I'm not really sure. Really, I want to wait for him, but at the same time, I don't want to wait. Give me a sec to, see if he answers. What's with all the dropping of fucking... Oh yeah, there's ice sprites up there. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to wait for him to get out of this damn cutscene, but... Oh, he's still on the part with Yu Hase. So he's gonna be far-fetched from us. Oh, well. Such is life. Alright. Let's go fuck up a primal. And turn off Snow Cloak, because God forbid we frickin' get that. And now we play the waiting game, as always. I mean, Jesus, you'd think this would be easy. I sure hope this works. Oh, just get... Alright, come on, you stupid duty finder. I'm bored, and this is not fucking helping. You know what, fuck it. This is what takes forever! Having to wait for this shit is beyond me.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down.
Well, then bring it.
We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Well, this is new. Alright, let's do this.
Hi.
Hey Kevin, how's it going? Now we got two people probably pulling up my damn stream. We're just waiting on Raven. Alright. Well, that was totally new,
okay,
but...
work is over, yay my time.
Nice. Wow, this is actually weird. I'm actually beating a Dark Knight in terms of aggro. This is kind of fucked.
One, two, three, four, get your booty on the dance floor.
And here they come. Fuck it. I can't believe I'm actually. This is the first time this has ever happened for me that I actually beat a Dark Knight in terms of aggro, because Dark Knights are probably let me put it to you this way: Dark Knights totally trump frickin'. Seriously, I don't understand how I'm trumping. Now for the fun to begin. I will say this, the music is pretty fucking epic. I am gonna pull her a little bit more to the center because much better. I just wanted to pull her more to the center just in case we do actually. But it looks like we're gonna fucking win either way, so it's like not even a matter of. And we're done. Bye-bye, Shiva. See you in about, I don't know, 2 episodes. I'm gonna give the commendation to Raven.
GGGGG.
I'm gonna give the commendation to Raven because as much as Raven tried, I kind of feel sorry for Raven a little bit because
the arcade that tanked.
Yeah, I figured considering your username is Crow. Hey Raven, that was actually a first for me. I was actually expecting you to frickin' have aggro on that, but unfortunately, I guess gear difference or something. I don't know. Who gives a shit? All right, let's see. Let's watch this damn cutscene as always. What? This bitch is still alive?
Fool. Blind.
You did really good, haha.
You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause.
Sure it is.
You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth.
What the fuck is she talking about?
Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us.
Will you actually make sense for once?
We who walk before may lead those who walk after.
Okay, now she's just quoting answers.
Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded.
I swear to God, is this some sort of new song that we're trying to fucking come up with?
Do not squander mother's gift.
Okay, seriously, how are you fucking related to Heidelin?
Hear, feel, think.
The fuck? Well, that was bullshit. Oh, great, this douche. Oh, wait, no, not this douche.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome.
Oh, grand.
Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased.
And of course he references La Habrea. So sick of these assholes. So sick of them. Really, I am. But anyway, Shiva is done. Now I can go back to doing voiceovers for characters who really don't need voiceovers, but let's not care about that. By the 12, you're alive! I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Trevanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma has been known to cause hallucinations, you see. No? Fair enough, I was only asking. Alright, let's continue this shit. What is that, Burt Gang? Oh, wow, they actually frickin', put all the old weapons in here, too. If you ask me, there's naught to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing code. Let's save it for the Rising Stones, eh? I'll get everyone to meet us there. Before that, you had best pay a visit to Right Brim Front and speak with Alfino. He's probably worried sick about you. That, or he's busy playing at politics with the Asgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache or anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? Oh, no reason. See you again soon. She thinks we're fucking crazy. That bitch literally thinks we're crazy. Thanks for the compliment, Raven. I meant to say that to you, but you know, I don't like really talking during cutscenes because I like to give the audience every intention to hear what other characters are saying, and I apologize for my partially terrible voiceovers. I can't wait to be out of Kurthus. For a good while, at least. Alright, we're back. Let me guess. We have to climb these fucking stairs in order to get to Alphino. Fuck me sideways. Alright, going up. Here we go. Come on, voiceovers. Come on, voiceovers. Nope. There he is, and none the worse for wear. Was there ever any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? I think I speak for all of us when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life. An outcome worthy of celebration. And one for which we have Bayan to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Emmerich. We should be content with what we have accomplished. I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Aye, there is the matter of Iceheart's escape, but she cannot run forever. Whether it takes days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. In the meantime, Lord Drillemont, is the caravan ready? The supplies that your men recovered have been prepared for transport, in accordance with your wishes. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it these are the self-same supplies the heretics stole from House Fortom Caravan? Less the crystals which compromised the bulk of the shipment, yes. Scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Ah, on an unrelated note, Bayan, might I trouble you to accompany me to Camp Dragonhead at your earliest convenience? 'Tis not for my benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he heard of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. Pray, do not think less of him. Let me guess, Harshaphon was worried. Alright, back to Camp Dragonhead. What were you thinking, Bayan? Wagering your very being on a dubious theory which might allow you to enter Iceheart's lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then, engaging the abomination in mortal combat? By the fury, Bayan! 'Tis the stuff of ballads! A battle for the ages! Would that I had been there to fight by your side! Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But you are here now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Sir Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphino in private. He awaits us in the intercessory. Told you, Harshaphon's freaking falling in love with us, if you ask me. Alright, let's get in here. Voiceovers or no?
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a prime. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
You're damn right.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautalon.
ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
Not a question of does he believe.
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Here we go.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am now. Why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget. One born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
It won't.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orshafon, if you would be so kind.
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
Yeah, but I don't regularly listen. But anyways. Hey, look at that. Just hit level 53 on Gladiator. Fantastic. And accept. And I haven't done any of the Heaven's Ward job quests because, you know, not really part of it right now. Alright. So let's speak with Alfino. It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's method of summoning Shiva defies all precedent. It necessitates a complete reappraisal of the primal threat, and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Gallian Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to this very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then, if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized peoples as well. Any lingering objections to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we would find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Bayan. It is better that we continue this conversation in Mordona. Yes, let's get out of this fucking cold as shit area. So good to be home. Okay, let's see what crap has been going down in fucking the Rising Stone since we fucking left. Oh, well, would you look at that? Looks like Thancred's drunk again. How is that not fucking surprising? Oh, God. He tried to drink Moinbrita out of under the table and fuck it. But, of course, that's not why we're here. Though I would have loved to see frickin' that little contest.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kirkus, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louis Soir's writings make no mention of such a possibility.
Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogulmog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as, damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you.
Yeah, those confusing fuck nuggets.
Hear, feel, think.
The fuck does that even mean?
Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
Well, it's gonna be a bitch to figure that all out. Alright, what's next? The reason Royal.
I mean to scour the annals for knowledge of Midgard-Zoma. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few... Do you hear that? The commotion outside. Would you see if aught is amiss?
Oh boy. This is gonna be a fuck nugget. Bayan, 'tis well that you are on hand. We have a problem. Royal has escaped. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Royal quitting the city via the Gate of Nald, with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castrum Meridianum, I'm certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilberd and the First are hot upon Royal's heels. Pray, make haste to Camp Bluefog and join the hunt. It's always Camp Bluefog. Why can't it be like the Cerulean Processing Plant? Seriously. It's closer to frickin' Castrum, and you know, I'm not even gonna bother figuring it out. I'm bored. So, who's still here? My thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Royale walked through the camp not a bell ago. Aye, she walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Raubon's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her. And so here we are. Royale must not be allowed to reach Castra Meridianum. And now to the cerulean processing plant. Where is he? Alright, let's do this. This wretch was with Royale. He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She did not blink when we cut him down. Not even when she started screaming. No loyalty to even her own, the goddamned harpy. With me, Scion, we almost have her. Let's do it. I want Rael alive. Kill the rest. For Eorzea.
You will not take me so easily this time.
Oh, the Medicus. Enemy reinforcements! Look sharp, men!
Show them no quarter!
Jesus, those death claws are huge! What? I can't move! I've more than in my coin already.
Fools! You cannot stand against the Empire!
They have healers! Kill them first!
My girlfriend discovered Pokemon Go. On the way home we stop a few places, tons of people playing.
Oh yeah, Pokemon Go is freaking getting ridiculous now. Now that it's in its like 5th day of freaking release.
You'll forgive us our lateness.
We're in your debt.
Jesus, how much more is... The circle fetters those who wander within. Lure the enemy to it.
Alright, gangbang!
God damn it!
And we've beaten her. Finally. Bind her! And do it tight! Yes, sir!
Good work, men.
She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better.
Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you have fallen so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-bornish guardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to do to survive. Stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagine me a paragon when I joined the Flames.
To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Reborn himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt, and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for.
How are we any different then?
'Tis true that we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it's that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Uldar to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. How the mighty have fallen.
Not so much as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sordid business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Reborn chose his. Yeah. I'll save those thoughts for...
I've heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Reborn. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace. Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Namo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
This douchebag.
Alright, let's finish this up.
Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Reborn. And that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. My thanks. Ah, but I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Minfilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Royal in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends.
And I have to be the douchebag to say, oh, the person you held in high regard was a real fucking Ishgardian spy. How the fuck do you feel right now? Pretty damn shitty, don't you think? Fucking hell. Why is it always gotta be the fucking hero? I would love one Final Fantasy game where you get to be the fucking villain. Here we are.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Reborn, Eileen lent us much-needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with White Orosite, the miraculous material that will allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to Orosite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Hydaelyn bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Hydaelyn placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Hydaelyn did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white orosite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Twould seem more research is in order. I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the Orosite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Vow. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Well, we can only hope.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the Primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Voris Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Maybe even triple?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well.
I gotta head out, get some stuff done.
Alright, talk to you later.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
dance to their tune. How could you, Wayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monitorous scum. Your crimes will not go unpunished. Till you have purged this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12, I swear it.
Fucking Raubon, man. So passionate.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, mine moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Uldah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Raubon.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah. Your Grace, are you certain of this? There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Reborn, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
And achievement unlocked, Dreams of Ice. Now, as much as I would love to continue this storyline, that actually ends the storyline for 2.4. A very short storyline indeed, but a nice one nonetheless. Now on to the business at hand. We do have some side quests to do. We do have an extreme primal to fuck up. And, we have, in the next episodes, the final Coil of Bahamut to worry about. And this one, I am particularly going into completely blind. So this is going to be something that really, really, really takes the cake. On a lighter note, we also have, Sastasha Hard and Sunken Temple of Karn to do, so those will be nice to go through. Those will be some nice special episodes to fuck with. We also have, we could do we could access Rogue if I wanted to, but I'm thinking of saving those quests for a later time, because I would like to peruse other ventures in my life. Not to mention, if I start doing ninja, I'm gonna want to keep doing it, and then I'm gonna have to wait, and I really want to go into Heaven's Ward frickin' ready to rock and frickin' and fucking ready to go through everything. At least with a different job. So let me think. I just want to make sure of a few things about the next storyline's patch notes. That's all well and good. What about 2.57? Now, yep, okay. Alright, so now, even though we are not going into the next patch's storyline just yet, I do want to make a few announcements about it. This will be done in 3 separate parts. We'll have part 1, which includes a bit of the main scenario. We'll also have some more bullshittery involved. Not that we don't have some more bullshittery to show up in the coming days. We also also in the first part of the next patch, we also have the final part of the Crystal Tower arc. I am going to be doing a special episode in the next few episodes regarding a special bit of storyline, and we're gonna take on that twice, and we have a good we have 3 dungeons that we're gonna fuck with in terms of that. Then in the second part, we have a new place that we have been. There has been a place that I have been neglecting this entire live stream that we are going to get through. We are going to finally introduce it, finally fuck around in it a little bit, and that'll be like that may be our episode 350. I'm not sure. We've already hit 300. I mean, that'll probably be our episode 150. I'm not sure. We'll see how everything goes. But that'll probably be somewhere in the foreseeable future. But that'll be part 2, and finally part 3 of the last path will be the final bit, and this is drawing to the end of A Realm Reborn. This is what's going to basically take everything out of proportion, and it's going to be a very, very, very long patch, so a lot to look forward to in the next patch. But until then, like I said, we still have a little bit of bullshittery to worry about in this particular patch. We still have and we still have the final coil of Bahamut to work around. We also have the 2 hard mode dungeons that we gotta do, Sastasha and Sunken Temple of Karn. So we've got a lot to look forward to with these next few episodes. It's gonna prove to be an awesome fucking bout. And I hope that you all continue watching Kruznik's Purgatory as we continue A Realm Reborn and actually finish A Realm Reborn and lead up into what I'm really looking forward to, Final Fantasy XIV Heaven's Ward. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me for right now. Either we're gonna do we're either gonna do Final Coil, or we're gonna bust into a couple of hard mode dungeons and then do the Hildebrand quest line. I mean, Hildebrand doesn't seem to be that much of a pain in the ass this time around, so who knows. But until such time as I return, Kruznik X signing out.